In the previous video, I talked about grief and how it impacted my lifestyle. The thing is, I had to take some action, and I couldn't sit there constantly thinking about the past because it's not a nice place to be in the past. So I wanted to do something with my life and how I lived. And part of that was because I wanted to look after Karthik, and the time I spent with him, I didn't want it to sound it like a hard job, which I felt. I also wanted to enjoy those moments with him. So I decided I needed a therapy. The way I came to know about therapy is very funny in a way because I'm a big fan of Formula One, and I watch races, and then after race videos, and then YouTube analysis of race videos and all those things. There was a good interview between Nico Rosberg and Roman, where after the Roman accident, they sat down and had a chat. In that video, they do talk about mental health in general. In the previous video, I did mention that it's they are the top performing athletes, and even them needed therapy. So I decided to myself that I'm gonna go see a therapist. I also had another single dad who went for a therapy. So, and he did advise me that I need to go speak to a specialist in order to get things under control. There's a beautiful saying in Tamil. It means virundum marundum moondru nalike. What it means in English is a constant guest is never welcome. Now, no matter how close your friends or family is, you can never truly express yourself in a certain ways, and the reason you don't want to express is because you don't want them to go through this pain. And don't get me wrong, but everybody has their own life to deal with, and they have their own challenges. And I sort of felt that I don't want to burden anybody with my grief, depression, and other things. So I decided, after all these people who told me, I decided I need to speak to a therapist. So the first two sessions, we just talked about in general what I'm feeling, how I am responding to certain things, those sort of things. And all she did was listen. I think she was trying to understand where I am in life at this point in time. And, based on that, she could advise me what to do. One of the big thing was during this whole session is, I felt that I was never giving enough time to Karthik. Though I was spending time with him, I never felt that the things I do is sufficient enough. So she helped me to understand that what I'm doing is good enough, because kids don't enjoy spending 24 hours a day with you. They understand little moments that you spend with them, and those are the happy moments they remember. So, and I was also feeling bad that I wasn't cooking really well and all those things. So slowly we started working on this thing, and she sort of helped me understand all those little things about in life, and the challenges that are being involved in being a single parent, which was good because that's when I started to understand a lot of things in detail about parenting, and that really helped me to bond well with Karthik, and that also made me happy in a way that I am doing these little things. The dad is trying, and he's trying his best. And before that, even though I tried, I had the feeling of, am I doing it enough? So, but after talking to her, that feeling sort of went away. And then once this is all over, what we did is, my schedule was all over the place. I would take him to one place, I will take him to swimming, I'll take him to tennis, I'll take him to soccer, piano, and all of this. I was just running between too many things during this period, and I would constantly miss sessions. So one of the things that we did is we worked on my schedule, on my calendar, and we put everything in the calendar, little things, even the time that I need to sit and talk to Karthik, were all in my calendar. I would follow it for a quite few months. And then after a few months, it sort of becomes a part of your lifestyle and your routine. And it sort of it becomes effortless. You don't have to you no longer have to put it in a calendar, because you know that on this day you're going to have to take him there, on this day you're going to sit and study with him, or teach him something, all these things. Teaching is one part I still haven't figured it out. I'm not the very good teacher when it comes to teaching somebody, and I don't want Karthik to not like studies. So I am stepping away from teaching him anything, but I do encourage him to watch videos that are useful, and we play the spelling bee game at home, or when we are walking from school to home, we play spelling bee a lot, and he enjoys it as well. Funnily enough, I also enjoyed playing this game as a child a lot. So these sort of things, it slowly started working out between me and Karthik, and all of this was possible only because I went and sat down with a professional therapist. See, in India, we have this misconception of saying that you don't need to go to a therapist, you can go to your friend or talk to your family members, and that should help. But that's not the correct way to do it, because what you're doing is you are telling your problem to somebody who is already dealing with other problems in their own life, and it's better you go speak to a professional person who knows how to advise you on things that you are having issues with, or the things that you find challenging. Yeah, so this was the first part of the whole therapy session, trying to be more conscious of the time I spend with Karthik. The second part was, okay, now that I've done things that makes Karthik happy, what is going to make me happy? This was quite difficult to find out what I enjoy, because I tried riding during this period, buying motorbikes, buying shoes, but none of them made me happy, So yeah, and then we sort of kept going back and forth on this topic, because I always kept telling her I didn't have the time to do something, right? Because I'm always busy parenting. I said I don't have the time, and going to gym wasn't an option because I can't leave Karthik alone at home, and I'm not a morning person at all. So, and I bought a cycle during the lockdown, bicycle, but I never used it. And I also had an indoor trainer, so I decided why not start training in Zwift, which was really good for me. I really enjoyed cycling every single day. If you remember, I did this 30 days challenge of 1,000 kilometers in 30 days. I did not do 1,000 kilometers, but I came close to 810 kilometers, if I remember correctly. That was a sense of achievement. Someone who has gone through a lot, that's the first step in doing something productive other than my work. Work is another area I worked with my therapist. I'll talk about it in a minute. So that challenge was really good, and then I did it, and then I started enjoying cycling. So, and then what happened was it led to me and Karthik cycle together in parks, in cycle parks, or around the block. So that sort of helped me to do things that we both enjoy doing, Karthik and myself. And then the last part was work. So I used to work long hours, and I enjoyed work, but I didn't realize that work was sort of my coping mechanism. I would work after 5 till 10 o'clock. I mean, if I can solve a problem that would keep me busy, but it also meant that I was taking my time away from Karthik, which was also a concern for me. So one of the things that we decided is I stopped working at 5. No matter what happens, I stopped working at 5, and then no opening office stuff on weekends. So that was a bit hard for me, because I've done this all my life, and that took a while. But then I decided one day that I am going to stop working at 5. And then I realized nobody cares if you work extra hours or you finish by 5. As long as the work is done, it's done. So it might get one day extra, but let it get one day extra, because the task requires one day extra. It doesn't mean that I have to sacrifice my personal time that I will spend with Karthik or doing things I enjoy doing for somebody else. So that has become very effective now, and that is when I found the time to do cycling. And once I did finish cycling, I was just looking for an activity, and I was a bit lazy as well, because it was New Year and all this thing. I was a bit lazy. And then the other thing which I really enjoyed all my life is photography. Photography is it. I mean, I am someone who chases perfection in photography, chasing lights, chasing the whole editing process, mastering all of this. And I have spent a fair bit of time learning all of this. I've been part of Sue Bryce community. I've been part of Lindsay Adler community. I've also been part of Peter Hurley community. So these people specialize in different types of photography. Sue and Lindsay were into portraits, and Peter Hurley was into corporate shots, all these things. I did spend a fair amount of time in my life learning these skills. And this is something I enjoyed as well. But since I cannot go out and take pictures as I used to do, now what I've decided is, I should record something at home. But I have tried making YouTube videos in the past, but I've always picked a subject which I did not enjoy a lot. But then I knew this is what I wanted to do for a while, but I didn't know what genre of topic I want to do, and I still don't know. And that is why I took this challenge of making 30 videos in 30 days. So I will know by the end of 30 days. Hopefully I will figure out what sort of videos I will make. But I do have videos planned for the next few days. And then I've also asked someone who goes through a similar life journey like me to be part of the video as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it works great. I'm really excited to have him in my video and then talk about his challenges and all of those things. Now off topic again. We went off topic. Let's get back to therapy. So the first thing I worked with therapist was understanding Karthik and spending time with him, spending meaningful time with him, not just time, meaningful time with him, the time he will remember in the future. And the second thing is work. How do I stop working by 5? That's something I've learned now, and I'm very happy that I did it. And then the last thing is working on myself, things that would bring happiness to me. So these are the things I've worked with my therapist, and we have also talked about relationship and what sort of relationship I want and what are my values in a relationship. Those sort of things I've talked about it. So I will talk about relationship in one of the upcoming videos. So this is all coming together, but it takes time. As I said, no matter how long the tunnel is, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. So the only thing I can do is keep working on this thing. Sometimes it is tiring, and then I go back just being lazy for few days or for a week, and then I'll bounce back and do things. So it is part of the process. I have to trust the process, and the process has made me a better person than what I was a year ago or 2 year ago. In terms of mental health, it's very important. So yeah, and I want to finish this particular video with one little thing that I want to tell you guys. That if you are thinking of going and seeing a therapist, go give it a try. What could go wrong? If you don't like it, you can stop it always. But go with an open mind and practice what they advise you to do. No therapy is going to work if you don't practice what they advise you to do, right? So go with that mindset. And therapy is hard because you have to challenge yourself and put yourself in the spot that I'm going to do this from this day, right? So it is a hard work, and it's but the benefits are worth it. So I would highly recommend, if you're thinking of going and seeing a professional therapist, please do it, and it will only bring happiness and more positive energy into your life. So with this, I'll close this video, and thank you for all your comments on the YouTube video. I really appreciate it, and the channel is trending, which is great to see, and I never thought it would, and I really appreciate it. And thank you once again. Good night. I'm going to sleep now. It's pretty late.